going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of CryptoZombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having an awesome day today. Bitcoin is actually doing quite well. You can see we are still trying to push above 13,000. However, we do get rejected every time Bitcoin moves over $13,000. You can see we've had 3 already, and currently right now it looks like Bitcoin is trying to push down again. Now, in yesterday's video, we spoke about Bitcoin whales sending large quantities of Bitcoin to exchanges and whether or not they were going to be looking to have a bit of a sell-off. Well, we did actually have this peak around 13,400. We dumped all the way down to 12,800, but it does look like we've had a slight recovery. So we have a major few days up and coming for Bitcoin. Now, the first thing I want to mention is that we did put in the 4th highest weekly candle close ever in Bitcoin's history. The only times we closed higher than this was back at the absolute peak of the bull run in 2017. But if that's not enough, we have a major monthly close coming in just 5 days. And we also have multiple futures and options expiring, so things could get extremely volatile, but it also could be the moment that we've all been waiting for. So it is going to be a crazy up and coming week for Bitcoin. Hope you are excited. Hope you're ready. So we do need to talk about that. Also, the fact that we have yet another CEO of a company coming out saying that he's allocated 50% of his portfolio into Bitcoin. And Michael Saylor from MicroStrategy actually came out in an interview and explained why we have a digital gold rush for Bitcoin potentially up and coming, and things could get absolutely insane faster than you can even expect. And if that sounds good to you, you know what to do. If you are not subscribed, definitely consider it. And today we are giving away a Ledger Nano at the end of this video. And remember, there is a scam going around right now for Ledger Nano S emails. Please be careful. Do not click links. Do not share your private keys. Always go to the official source, the official website, if you do ever have any questions. And also just wanted to let you guys know, if you are trading over on Bybit, starting today, there is a 30% option for, or a 30% off on fee option. All you have to do is basically just go over to the rewards where you can put in the voucher and you enter the code USDT 30% off and redeem, and boom, there you go. 30% discount has been credited to your account. Please check your assets page. And also, by entering this code, you are entered in a chance for 100 winners that can get up to 66% off. And also, friendly reminder, if you do want an additional $390, if you are new, be sure to use the link below in the description and you can get up to $390 in rewards. Okay, now let's talk about the big news. We have Bitcoin price closing a weekly candle, the 4th highest candle in Bitcoin's history. Now have a look at this chart. Virtually every time we get up to these levels, you can see the level right here. Okay, Bitcoin, we had this short little rally and major bear market. We got above it a little bit shortly in June of last year. We wicked above it and we were rejected again. And currently we are at that same level again. Very significant. You can see the resistance right here. Now we are looking for a potential breakout move, and it is going to be probably happening by the end, if not before, this weekend. Now to the upside, we do have another resistance at around $14,400. So it's very possible by the end of this week, you could see Bitcoin trading upwards of $14,000. Now, it does look like on the 4-hour, we are starting to form a bit of a triangle pattern, right? We could push out maybe until the 28th of October sideways before having the blast off. Now, that would still be before the end of the monthly close. We're having a very similar pattern as well, except over on futures, it looks more like an ascending triangle, which is technically a bullish pattern. We're not at the end of the pattern yet, so we may not break above the $13,000 permanently, short term yet, but we could be looking for that explosive move. Now, we did talk about the potential chance of the whales dumping. I spoke about my bearish targets. I don't want to keep talking about bearish targets while I do have a few. One of them could be coming to the bottom of this channel back down to even $11,000. I do still think Bitcoin might have a little more room to the upside, but right here, we're going to start hitting this major resistance where we've had this line that's been holding us down in this channel, and it has held us down twice in the past. So we're going to have to break out of that. Like I said, still looking at the $14,400 level, but we are pretty much about to enter uncharted territory. I mean, you could see anything really above this level, above this sort of rejection point, there is almost no real Bitcoin price action to go off of. So actually doing TA is going to get really interesting soon because we're not going to have any resistances. So usually when you're looking at charts, you could tell like, okay, we've had a resistance. Bitcoin might struggle there. Here's some support. But we're getting to the point where there is no more price action happening and it's going to be full on price discovery. And that is when you're going to see the markets go. If you haven't seen it yet, don't stick around. You're going to see markets go absolutely bananas. You can see we're looking to get to the top of this channel right here. We are still pushing upwards. If we do breach that $14,400 level, the next level we are looking for is $16,600. And guess what? That puts us in wick territory where, just Bitcoin madness will ensue. Now, having a look at what Jack said, Bitcoin Jack, he says the Bitcoin 200 daily average is trending above all-time average, which is orange, around the time of the halving has never failed to induce a supply void driven rally. He says this is fundamentally programmed into Bitcoin, and as long as demand is present, it won't break. And he says, last I checked, demand is present. In fact, every other day we're seeing a CEO or a company allocating more of their funds to Bitcoin to hedge against the inflation of the dollar. Now let's talk about why we're going to have an interesting week for Bitcoin, okay? So according to the CME Bitcoin futures calendar, the October futures contract expires on the 30th, right? It's always the last Friday of every month. You also have the upcoming expiry of CME Bitcoin futures contracts is particularly important because of the high open interest as well. Now, keep in mind, if Bitcoin stays above 13,000 into November, it would confirm its first monthly candle close above $13,000 in nearly 3 years. Researchers from Skew Data said that the organic nature of the ongoing Bitcoin rally might raise the chance for a prolonged rally continuing, right? It has been a nice, healthy uptrend. We really haven't gone parabolic yet. You might think the price action looks parabolic, but no, parabolic is some of the moves that I remember. We were doing $1,000 move in a day. When we start doing those types of moves every day, then you know we're going full on parabolic. And Bitcoin options are currently pricing in a 7% chance of Bitcoin hitting 20K in the next 2 months. So 20% chance, or 7% chance it was? 7% chance of Bitcoin hitting 20K. Now, let's talk about what is going on with these CEOs. So now you have Bill Barthheit, right? And he's from the peer-to-peer payments platform Abra. And he says that he has significantly increased his Bitcoin holdings just a few weeks ago. According to him, now he holds 50% of Bitcoin as his total investment portfolio. The executive said that Bitcoin scarcity is one of the biggest reasons why the cryptocurrency is the best investment option. As the minting of new Bitcoin approaches zero in the coming years, its value versus fiat will continue to skyrocket. In my opinion, he says cash or government printed money, also called fiat, is actually becoming worthless. While Bitcoin's value remains constant, there will never be less fiat printed than is now. Cash is only going to get more and more worthless. And Michael Saylor was actually over on TCN TV. Go check them out on YouTube, by the way. Go subscribe. And, they essentially asked him about his thoughts on Bitcoin, and they talk about it as the digital gold rush. And it is going to be the next big explosive sector. If you think cryptocurrency is exploding now, just wait until he says the next decade is going to be even better performing than the first decade. And Bitcoin went from worthless to $20,000. So I just want to play a clip from this super quick, and then we will talk about it.
Now, while on Bitcoin, MicroStrategy just in fact made a $425 million Bitcoin acquisition. Why do you think that people should be excited and investors should be excited over Bitcoin? And where do you predict the price is heading?
Well, if you had 500 million you're sitting in cash, it's going to be debased by 10 to 15% a year. So it makes sense to move it into something that isn't getting debased. That's why I think investors should be excited about it. Bitcoin hasn't been well understood for the past decade, and it's only this year that large institutions are taking a position in it, and it's emerging as the digital gold. And so the next decade is going to be a lot better decade for Bitcoin than the last decade. As for predictions as to the price, I don't know exactly in the near term where the price will move. But what I'm sure of is that central bankers will print more currency in just about in every country on earth. And as they print more currency, it's going to have to find its way into an asset. And it's not going to go to bonds because they're yielding 0%. So it's going to have to go either to equity or to gold or to Bitcoin. And the best time to invest in anything is when it's big enough to be sure it's going to work. And that means more than $100 billion and dominant in its industry. And when it's small enough that everybody else doesn't understand it and the majority of the people aren't quite sure what is that thing. And so Bitcoin's definitely, I think, the most compelling of those digital monetary networks that are moving into their early adolescence.
And it's not only high net worth individuals and these CEOs of these companies that are allocating their funds to Bitcoin. We are seeing many others do it as well. And we're also seeing companies like PayPal, coming out and basically saying we're not interested in Libra, but we are interested in Bitcoin. JP Morgan having a note to their investors telling them that Bitcoin could be driven by millennials. It literally could be the next digital gold, right? And having a look over here, here's an interesting article as well. You could see blockchain analytics firm TRM Labs have appointed former U.S. FinCEN heavyweight Ari Redbird to help build the firm's risk-based anti-money laundering programs for cryptocurrency and digital assets. And yes, you can probably tell already by the title, this is a PayPal-backed blockchain analytics firm. So what is happening here? Look at all of these companies just shifting towards Bitcoin, shifting towards blockchain and cryptocurrencies as well, right? Now, you do see that there are some issues, obviously still with the centralized nature of things. And I have heard a lot of complaints. There are those diehard libertarians, right, that say, you know what? This is not what Satoshi envisioned. This is not true decentralization. And yeah, I totally agree with that. However, I do believe that we are going to have some of these centralized components. It's not going to be a perfectly decentralized world, but I do think that as time progresses, we will be able to seamlessly integrate those blockchain products into certain apps that I eventually think people will migrate towards decentralized, right? Even just talking about decentralized exchanges, things like Uniswap, right? The idea of a decentralized exchange being so easy to use and so universal 2 years ago, that was so far away. And now we use it all the time, right? And imagine if we made it even easier with less technical skill know-how, right? So according to this article, you could see that almost 60% of the world today has access to the internet and smartphones. The increased accessibility resulted in a drop in cash payments from 89% to 77% between 2013 and 2018, and simultaneously mobile payments have grown increasingly common throughout the world. Now, Mark Smargin, he's the founder and CEO of the blockchain-powered mobile payments platform Fuse. He says that all the mainstream payment applications we know today are poorly modeled from a business perspective, or to be more specific, he adds that they're meant to serve their creators. So even with extreme levels of technological advancement and easy connectivity, he asked the question, why should somebody pay, 3 to 6% in fees, also have all of your data? You don't even know what they're doing with your data, right? These platforms create data monopolies and prevent competition because of high costs, and it's the end consumers that suffer due to that. They are also susceptible to cyber attacks that may lead to the theft of their data. Also, your data gets sold. You don't get a cut out of that, right? He says, as one of the early adopters of blockchain and cryptocurrency, blockchain is our only way forward in finance, right? And some people in the DeFi sector believe that that's true, that DeFi is the future. He explains that they are possibly the best solutions for major problems in today's mobile payments applications. In a blockchain-based mobile wallet like Fuse, for example, users are in full control of their funds and data, and it allows businesses and communities of all sizes to easily create microeconomies within the payment platform. These microeconomies are sub-payment ecosystems within Fuse's main ecosystem. So could this potentially be the future for finance, right? We've seen a lot of projects moving forward in this space, trying to bring decentralized finance actually to the real world. We have seen many of them fail, but I have said multiple times that I do not think that DeFi is a true bubble. I think a lot of it is going to go away, but the important things are going to stay. they actually have three core elements to Fuse. The first product is cross-platform mobile wallets that's designed to cater to both crypto and fiat currencies. Then there comes the Fuse Studio, which they just recently released with functions. It functions as a streamlined self-service contract that gives businesses the ability to create their own custom-branded currency and wallet. And lastly, the Fuse Chain, which is a distributed proof-of-stake blockchain that's pegged and interoperable with Ethereum. So these are things that we can look at moving forward. Oh, and they do say user data in the Fuse network is stored by the user on their device, and they decide who to share it with, okay? And we even spoke about the guys over at HCAPTCHA coming out with the human protocol. Now, you might not even realize it, but if you're utilizing Cloudflare on a website, which you would be surprised how many actually utilize Cloudflare, they completely ditched Google. They said they were done with Google's centralized nature, and they are switching over to a decentralized version, and that is the human protocol, but it's the HCAPTCHA. Now, these guys, they actually are being listed on Bitfinex October 28th, but they've got support from Kinetic, Hash, Prime Block Capital, DHVC, Colinsar as well. So this is what you're seeing. You're seeing, HCAPTCHA, PayPal competitors. You're seeing Atari video game tokens coming out, right? So these are all these different projects that you're going to want to keep your eyes on as well. Oh, we do also have one bit of course, we have to talk about the typical news. DeFi protocol Harvest Finance was exploited earlier today. The hacker drained 24 million from the protocol, but then returned 2.5 million. Harvest Finance said the attacker is well known in the crypto community, but it is not interested in doxing them. All right, so very interesting news, guys. Be safe out there. Always be very careful where you are allocating your funds to. And of course, we do have to give away a Ledger Nano S. So we did have 6 videos last week, so we have to do this out of 6. So we have video number 6. So that was the last video. All right, so that was literally the most recent video that we put out right here. So let's give away a Ledger Nano S. Let's see how many unique comments we have here. All right, 742 comments. My goodness. All right, drum roll, please. It has begun. Yes, Matthew Rudin, it has begun. The ultimate bull market has begun. We're definitely at some crazy times for sure. So Matthew, you are the winner. You know what to do. Hit me up in the official About Me section. Do not go in the comments. Lots of scammers down there. They copy my avatar. Literally can't delete them as fast as they come. So hit me up in my official email or in my Telegram. But that is it for me today. Enjoy your day. Could Bitcoin take a dip? Absolutely. But I believe moving forward, any dip is for buying or longing. And that is my plan pretty much for the next year and a couple months maybe. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, I could see a 100,000 Bitcoin easily on this next run, and can't wait to share that opportunity and moment with all of you. So get subscribed if you haven't. Don't forget about the 30% off. If you guys want the extra $390 at Bybit, you can sign up using the link below. Thank you so much again. I do appreciate your support. You guys rock. My name is K-Dub. This is CryptoZombie. Until next time, stay crypto. And of course, peace out.